Oh, praises be to Allah. We got. Hey, guess what? We've got 28 episodes. Episode 28. We've got 2 more episodes until we get to the multiple of 10. Which means, if y'all have been like paying attention, I'm doing a super episode, should we say? And we're doing the labourers of Yaqub. I've got a document here that's about the labourers of Yaqub. But guess what? Oh no! Yeah, Clyde's got me in your mind again. Yeah. Van Dyke. Yeah. Okay. Define cheap cause the oil is blessed in me. My own demons be the only ones testing me. 1,000 words speaking in a picture with Mecca but green. Recite chapter 1, holy ones kicking for ye. Set off, I'm Jack the Glide. Hardly see your captain smile. Done for what you did to I. Rent us on the moon with light. CPR for sinners. Wicked tackled by the night. Champions don't clash with Clyde's. Glorious D1, your afterlife. Yeah. Half a mile by half a mile. Reds number 4, Alexander Corner. Yeah, we smashed the title. Difference is the goal this time. Oh my. Hard to race for the title when you're about to fly the skies. I've been doing some damage. I've been flooded the fire of Master Fard Muhammad. Yeah, catching all the lies that floating up. I see you panic. Vision, I went harder alone. So much happens. I don't think I'm rapping. To me, I'm just tapping it into your soul. It's been battered in. I've been tracking back so much precision and tackling. Both the battling cup, imagine. There's no point you thinking that. Wait a few more days, brother. The Buchanan caught the Buchanan chest at marathon calling. Look at him trapped, freed up all you that been flat. Can I handle more? Can I handle rap? Can I wrangle war? Can I handle gaps? Be about a courting, look at it maps. Truth is just like a loving candles match. Farrakhan. The office in a get tackled by the dot, yo. He was raped, get it? No. Not unless you're a wow, you know. Something you should know about me, right? I've not done music for a very, well, for my standards, for not a long time, like, to be fair. I need to get back to it. He was draped in it, yeah, it's a strange thing, don't forget it. Praise, Yo, he was draped in it, yeah, it's a strange thing, don't forget it. I was writing yet again, putting fire on the page, fishing wisdom in the cage, let the window open, damn. Fire seers, yeah. Okay. He was draped in it, yeah. It's a strange thing, don't forget it. I was writing yet again, putting far out on the page, fishing wisdom in a cage, left the window open, damn. Pissing me off, I was rage beneath the singing. Farrakhan's in a blaze, almost ripping off his main. Heart to not swear my grade is crying while I've embraced. This your final guess, what you think I'm trying to get across spiritual spine again? Oh, it's not strong enchantment. Yeah, by the way, just setting the record straight, man. The sky's here. Yo, that's powerful, bro. He was made by a mighty Lord of King. 1933, if you can see, you be pinched. It's a praise, a wing, a visit. Yeah, it's a strange thing, just forget it. Yeah, send it off, I'm Jack the Glide. Hardly see your captain smile. Don't for what you did to I. Rent us on the moon with light. CPR for sinners. Wicked tackled by the die. Champions don't clash with Clyde's. Glorious deal on your afterlife. Yeah. Half a mile by half a mile. Number 4, Alexander, yeah. We smashed the title, difference is the goal this time. Oh my, Farrakhan's Messiah, yo. Fard seals. I like that one. Praise. We make mistakes, but you know, Fard seals. Malachi is sitting in our mind, triabias. Millions all over the globe, yo, try free us. The time's up and time's weird, especially disco skies wheels. It's like real, yo, they can't be us. Revelation, call it 3-9 to switch gears. Your redemption, focus in line or die from fear. Nebuchadnezzar on a dome, my divine shield. Grace alone, suckers unified. Die demons, patience is my tone. Sick of you just getting by, sick of you just wasting time. Employers of work, hell's been getting so much overtime. Push you into hell, message to Elijah, I believe you. Praise be to Allah. Praise be to Allah.
2 packs of Ben's original.
I'll tell you something, right? I feel so like blown away by my blessings sometimes, and that gift that I've got there, yeah, I don't always know how to stomach it. I'll be real. And it's like the adrenaline rush that it gives is the same, is likened unto the same like adrenaline rush that I get when I'm listening, or that when I've figured something out, that Farrakhan has said, or when Farrakhan's teach. You know, it's almost like, well, this is what I've tried to make it like. I mean, one day I could actually do like a breakdown video of like, you know, all the lyrics and what they mean. But I mean, that was called Van Dyke because the instrumental was called Van Dyke, so I just thought, and it was very like, and again, like, centre half, I'm Jack Alexander. Hardly see you, Captain Smile. Don't fall what you did to I see. Yeah, where is it? And then look, I've been doing some damage, yeah. I've been full of the fire of Master Fard Muhammad, yeah. Catching all the lies that floating up, I see you panic. Vision, I went harder, done so much, yeah, I seen it happen. I don't think I'm rapping. To me, I'm just tapping into your soul. You've been battling. I've been tracking back so much precision in tackling you. There's much more do you think on that? Wait a few more days, brother. They're the ones in shackles, king. The Wakandan caught, the Wakandan Shasta. Marathon calling, look at him trapped. Freeing up all you that been flanked. Can I handle more? Can I mantle rap? Can I wrangle war? Can I handle gaps? Be about that courting, looking at maps. Truth is just like a loving candles match. Yeah. So, like, I'm trying to make it represent him. It still. First thing in that, first lyric in that is about Master Fard Muhammad. Well, it's really, I've been doing some damage here. I've been full of the fire of Master Fard Muhammad, yeah. I think it's just the nature of me as a servant as well. Because, like, and you know, God knows it makes me nervous that all this stuff comes through. And, like, my gift is just, it truly is, beloved. It gets to me sometimes. And I think, yeah, but this is what God does, like. You know, God will test you with what you love most. And, you know, there's a lot of things that are up there with what you love most, but music is definitely up there for me. And I think more so because, not because I actually love it, like I'm not obsessed with music, but I'm obsessed with what music could do for the ultimate and greater good of things, which I think that's what Allah loves personally about the way that I look at it, because it's not something that I would put before the message or put before like the truth or the work. And so, you know, I'm very like protective over my job as a servant. And I think before I was ever a servant, I was a servant, you know, to life. You know, I hope you get what I mean by that. Like, there's just an element of life that I was a servant of before I ever even discovered that gift. Which, again, the Honourable Minister Louis Farrakhan helped me to uncover. Like, my songs were never sounded anywhere near like that. Like, in terms of strength and just, like, damn. You know, like, damn. You know, I'm two black folks, like, damn. Like, it is like that. I ain't gonna cap. That's just my gift. That's just what is his gift that he gave to me. And I'm very grateful for it, but then I'm very tested by it, you know. And it was probably really simple. It was probably just Jack, make a few tracks and you know, send them out there. But I don't know. I fear a lot, and I'm like, yeah, but you don't want me. You don't want me as a musician. You want me as a. I don't know. I have this thing with it, like, you don't. Well, I'm willing to give it up. That's what it is. I was willing to give it up. I was willing to do what the minister did, really. He's like, put the word before. Like, that's just the way I've done it. To prove to the master, to prove to the God, to prove to Elijah that I love him, I love the truth more than that. You see what I mean? Praise be to Allah. And honestly, I mean, I could do another song, to be fair. I'm in the mood to do another one. Should I do another one? Should I do another one? There's a couple ones, like... Yeah. No, maybe not. We'll just do, like, one an episode, I think. I like the Master Fard. Oh, yeah, we will. We actually so will, guys. I fully will. I'll treat you. I'll treat you. I'll treat you. I will treat you, because it is a treat. It's like cake. So I don't like doing it all the time. Because I was in work today, right, and I was listening to a couple of these because I was thinking, well, which one should I do? Because I did say I was like doing it from now on and that, you know, man of my word and all that stuff.
Stay focused.
Oh, not you adverts again. I can't stand adverts, guys. It really does get to me. Well, nobody. What is? I tell you, man. The main man is so dumb sometimes. Oh my god. Yeah. Master Fard. And it's Master Fard, bro. Yo. Will you be, yeah. Attractive with a chorus, you're free. What do you see, yeah. Immaculate resort is peace. The master's always holding light, opening a highway for me. Find you on the byways increase. Elijah be the Christ, yeah, in me. Said all soft in a rhyme. Calling my sword the divine. Don't you stop at a sign, yeah. Who do you think you are? One of a kind. Middle of a war gets better in time. It's an earthquake like an 8.9. Perfect man, I walk in a straight line. Master Fard, Nation of Islam. That's the bar, yeah. That's the bar, yeah. Master Fard, yeah. Master Fard, yeah. That's the crowd, yeah. Pastor shouting, hallelujah. I strap my katana. That's the closure. That's the closure. That's the savior. That's the savior. That's Farad, yeah. That's Farad, yeah. Like old times. Got a message we hear. It's an oh my. It's the light we fear. I'm a gold mine. Blood, sweat, yeah, heavy these tears. I don't give a damn who the enemy is. Got a truck full of Farrakhan, save me king. It's a cold night, UK. Overtime, and I got one life. I want headspace, home time. Writing vibes, documenting my mind. On a throne like sunlight. Mystery is art, it's unknown and it comes like space. I like it when you press on me, yeah. Yo, my broke heart still alive. On a climb for the wisdom script. I'm a strobe light for dark times. Watching the enemy can't trump this. Yeah, I'm a northern child, so fine. Go strike, go ask questions to your king. Farrakhan's underline pressed in silk. If the man was a breast, he'd have so much milk. Yeah. I can show mine angels, probe skies. I can see it clearly, yeah. It's a low posture, humble mind. NOI, I salute to the gods, they kings. I don't give a damn who the enemy is. Got a truck full of Fard, Elijah, Black Prince. 9,000 miles, alright. Ezekiel's wheel just came. It's a half mile upright. It's a half mile this way. Realize how powerful the Lord is. Never lose praise for him. Hope on this faith. Satan doesn't love me no more. I'm not in the slightest dismay. If you want me to go right your past, I'll get you in trouble with the deep state. Some people gon' find it's hard, and some people gonna find it's easy. Came with a colourful coat to the yard. What about all your brothers in the east, mate? Master Fard, collect energy and spend on the ghost on an emerald breastplate. Yo. It's an oh my. You know what I mean? Praise be to Allah. Alright. So that one's called Master Fard, so I just thought that would like match what this is all about, really. And I love that one. I really do love that one. Oh, when I do that in the recording studio, inshallah, I think I'll just be like, I don't know, you just don't know what you don't know, do you? Inshallah. You know. May he send me somebody who understands how powerful that is, and and understand how world transforming that really is, to be honest. Like, I think the wisest thing that I ever did, well, was really just listen to the minister and bearing witness. But I think one of the wisest things I ever did was putting that in a language that the people can understand. Just wanting, you know what, guys, all those things, they come from wanting for your brother what you have for yourself. Nothing else. Like, literally nothing else. When you want for your brother what you have for yourself, you'll be surprised what that desire actually brings about for you and for others. Because if you truly do want for your brother what you have for yourself, the lengths that you will go to make that so, you might even be, look, it's so much so that you might even, with that desire, with that deep yearning, you'll be surprised with what you come up with, what you come out with. Because look, love has no limit. And if love has no limit, then also what love can generate has no limit. There is no limit to what love can create. In fact, love is creation. Praises be to Allah. And you'll hear a lot of references to Farrakhan. You'll hear a lot of references to, and I get nervous. I do. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna cap. I'm gonna absolutely cap it. It's like it's like holding somebody else's sword, beloved. That's what it is sometimes. And it sometimes is hard to go whoop butt with somebody else's sword. It feels, because I'm not there to whoop butts. I'm not here to whoop butts, really. I don't like to, the best come by the word, and the rest come by the whooping. Well, I don't like to always think, oh, but you're the whooping, or like you're whooping people. But it's getting to that point that, it's a bit it's, especially that first song. It's like, damn, like you kick. The very sound of it. See, I've got the music ear. See, my ear of music. You'll notice you actually kind of, maybe not. You maybe not, but I'm tuned to a certain point where I think my music sounds a certain way. And the way my music sounds is like there's a lot of tension. There's a lot of like seriousness to it. Or there's a lot of melody, but the melody is catchy. I would like to think anyway. But like that first one is very like it's like someone's like beating a drum rather than playing a harp. A lot of these artists, they like, I know it sounds like a weird analogy, but they do like the making a harp kind of song, whereas I'm like beating a drum, like with a a lightning bolt. And it's like I'm waking you up. I'm not sending you back. I'm not keeping you lulled. It's like after you come out of one of my tracks, I would like to think you're thinking, wow, that just gave me an electric shock, if you get what I mean. So, with all this being said, I think we will move on, because, listen, I gave you two there. I gave you two songs there, shouldn't have really done that, But, I think, it's just a nice, I've not even prayed, oh my God. Sorry, I'm not. See, and this is why it does my head in sometimes. I feel like, yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, that's just a bit of an example. To like, I don't want to put music before Allah. I don't like doing it. But what if the music is Allah? It's like, ... What's going on there? Alright. In the name of Allah, the entirely beneficent, the entirely merciful, all praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds. Sovereign of the day of recompense, it is you, Allah, whom we serve, and it is you, Allah, whom we ask for help. Guide us, Allah, to the straight path, the path of those upon whom we ask for help, and upon whom thou hast bestowed favour. Guide us, Allah, to the straight path, the path of those upon whom you have bestowed favour, not of those who have evoked your anger, nor those who are astray. I don't think I did that right. Shall I do that again? I don't think I did that right. See, it's something's up when the prayers are going wrong. Damn. In the name of Allah, the entirely beneficent, the entirely merciful, all praise is due to Allah, the Lord of all the worlds. Sovereign of the day of recompense, it is you whom we serve, and it is you whom we ask for help. Guide us, Allah, to the straight path, the path of those upon whom thou hast bestowed favour, not of those who are astray, nor on those whom thy wrath is brought down. I don't know if I did that right or wrong the first time, but yeah, Allah knows. So yeah, so what was we on? We was on last time. Yeah, oh my days. We was we sat on the light. We was sat on the light. We sat on the lamppost, weren't we? Sat on the light. Can't say that. Sat on the light. We sat next to the light. We was speaking the light, hopefully. We was shining the light. And we got to section 7. 7. Oh, we was talking, that's what we was talking about. We was talking about them two parables, weren't we? Those two incredible parables, might I add. So, section 7, the establishment of the kingdom of Islam. The response of the believers when they are invited to Allah and His Messenger, that He may judge between them, is only that they say, we hear and we obey, and these it is that are successful. And he who obeys Allah and His Messenger. See, you know that first bit, sorry, there, 51, that they say, we hear and we obey. See, that's interesting. See, remember when I told you that analogy of when Jesus was speaking, he was speaking like in a double entendre. He was speaking in a way that the Pharisees couldn't recognize what he was saying, but he was speaking in another, like in a way that the people, however, could recognize what he was saying. Well, if you look at that, it's like the spiritual ear is saying we hear, and those who don't believe, you know, you could say the Roman soldiers, those soldiers and people who were spying on him, they didn't hear and they didn't obey. Pardon me, my stomach's making all sorts of noises right now. So the response of the believers when they are invited to Allah and His Messenger is that He may judge that He may judge between them, is only that they say, we hear and we obey. And yet, have you noticed? Pardon me, sorry. Have you noticed that in that verse there, it shows no antagonism, no opposition, no problem. There's no problem with the believer hearing another believer or his messenger. You know, and who is the inviter? You see? Who is the inviter? You know, there's many people you can invite to Islam, brothers and sisters. But Louis Farrakhan's been inviting for a while, a very long time, beloved. So, when they're invited to Allah and His Messenger, that He may judge between them, is only that they say, we hear and we obey. And these it is that are successful. So, you see how success comes when we don't get in the way of Allah. As soon as we start getting in the way of how His Messenger is received and how, you know, how when we mess with the invitation, we mess other people's chances up, you see, of coming to Islam. You know, men who hinder other men, see, or women. You know, when we hinder somebody else's chance of receiving Islam, you know, we've done a grave thing really there. Or when we've misconstrued somebody or ruined the reputation of somebody to somebody else that they may not receive, you know, from a goodly invitation or a goodly exhortation as an invitation. You know, we might be messing up somebody's chances in, you know, and I do believe that every person will be given the truth before the judgment. You see, and I always think about the UK. Me, I'm like, there's so many people that I meet that just don't know the minister, and I'm like, it just makes me think. It makes me think personally. I think about Think about those in London. Like, I really do. Like, the brothers and sisters that are, like, you know, involved in so much gang crime and, you know, involved in stabbings and all that terrible, you know, criminality. You know, I always think, wait, what? Farrakhan's got to get to you lot, surely, before, you know, before the night is over, should we say. So, it does get to me a bit. I'm like, you know, Allah, let me, let me get to him, please. Let me find a way. Let me find a way. But you've got to find a way to yourself first, you know. You can't just go and call people by your will, in a way. You've got to, like, you know, you've got to, like, it's like wait for Allah's signal. You've got to wait for the light to turn green. You can't preach when the light's on red. Do you know what I mean? Praise be to Allah. Because otherwise you just get smashed up in the traffic that's going horizontally. You see how that works? You're going straight up. You're going straight ahead. But it's got to be on green. Because if you try to go straight ahead when it's on red, you get caught in all the red light BS, shall we say. All that things that's coming across. It might just slam into you at the junction. So we're at crossroads. Praise be to Allah. So anyway. And he who obeys Allah and his messenger and fears Allah and keeps duty to him, these it is that are the achievers. And they swear by Allah with their strongest oaths that if thou command them, they would surely go forth. Say, swear not, reasonable obedience is desired. Wait, what? What does that mean? Surely Allah is aware of what you do. So it says, and he obeys Allah and his messenger and fears Allah and keeps duty to him. These it is that are the achievers. See, there's something about that fear, yo. I tell you, when you fear Allah, he loves that in a way, because it's like a father who his son is afraid to displease in terms of disobeying him in his own home. It's not that he likes his son to fear him. He likes his son to be obedient and to be respectful. See, to his like demands and requirements. He loves that his son respects him like that, enough to fear the punishment of what happens when you don't fear and you don't respect the father. And so it says, and they swear by Allah with their strongest oaths that if thou command them, they would certainly go forth. Say, swear not, reasonable obedience is desired. I wonder what that means. Reasonable obedience is desired. But is desired is in brackets, so it just says reasonable obedience. Surely Allah is aware of what you do. So even then, Maulana, how do you know it's that? A Maulana, well, you know. That's interesting anyway. So say, obey Allah and obey the messenger. But if you turn away, he is responsible for the duty imposed on him. And you are responsible for the duty imposed on you. And if you obey him, you go aright. And the messenger's duty is only to deliver the message plainly. Allah has promised to those of you who believe, who do good, that he will surely make them rulers in the earth. And he made those before them rulers, and that he will surely establish for them their religion, which he has chosen for them, and that he will surely give them security in exchange after their fear. You see, praise be to Allah. You know, praise be to Allah. They will serve me, not associating aught with me. And whoever is ungrateful after this, they are the transgressors. And keep up prayer, and pay the poor rate, and obey the messenger, so that mercy may be shown to you. Think not that those who disbelieve will weaken the truth in the earth, and their abode is the fire, and it is indeed an evil resort. Praises be to Allah. That's interesting now. It says that he'll make them rulers in the earth. You know, that's never. Oh God, I was weeping today at work. Actually, I needed to escape. I needed to vacate the estate because I was getting very emotional, right? Because what I didn't realize is the first time, because I spoke at church for the first. I've never done a sermon. I've never done like a sermon. I've never spoke at a rostrum before. And I did it for the first time this like Sunday, and I didn't realise till this morning that it was Mother's Day. Like Allah knows how dear my mother is to me, and I didn't even realise that the first time that I spoke was on her day. And I was just like, I don't know why we got to that. I don't know what was I going to tell you then? I was going to say something that was connected to something. Rulers. Yeah, like, oh, it's gone for me now. Oh well. Allah's the greatest anyway. It doesn't matter. But I mean, I guess that's because it's something that like, I just believe in timing, you know. And it was really perfect timing. And the first thing that I ever mentioned on the rostrum was love. Actually, like, well, it was Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. I said something like, love is in the air. Wait, look, I've got it on my phone here. I want to just look at it. Hold on. Sorry if this is a bit random. This is the first thing I mentioned on the rostrum. Wait, where is it? Is it this? Yeah, look, listen to me here. Listen to what I say here. Listen to it. If you can hear this, I hope you can hear this.
Giving me this opportunity to speak with you all. There's not that many in the room, but as they say, love is in the air. Giving me this.
That's funny. It's funny that. It's not an accident, because I told my mum this. I was like, Mum, do you know that one of the very first things that I ended up, like the Spirit ended up guiding me to tell or to say on the rostrum was to do with love. And you know what, I was thinking about this on the way home today. I was like, love is in the air. Love is in the air. What do you mean love is in the air? What is that? I was really thinking about it. Because it like the air that we breathe, like, is what gives us life. And life and love is one word away, really. The V can be exchangeable with the F, you know? And the O can be exchangeable with the I. So love and life are very similar. And like, if love is in the air, then life is in the air. And if life is in the air, then how has Allah made the air? I was then thinking about the structure of air, like itself. You know, like oxygen that we breathe. That's to do with like the trees and love is in the air. I was thinking that. I was like, why? What inspired you to say that, bro? Like, that's what I was thinking. Because I was just dwelling on it. Because I thought about it today in work, and I was just like, no way, I spoke on Mother's Day. That's the first time I ever spoke to like an audience. And I was just like, kind of, you know, I was kind of thinking that. Because I'm not alien to the idea, to the fact that Allah uses me as an instrument sometimes. But sometimes I'll say things, or do things, or like touch on things, or write things, or things will come, and I'm just like, what does that mean? Like, you know, when the minister says, like, I'm teaching the word, but I'm listening as well. Well, that's what I was doing after that. I was like, when I realised that was a bit of a significant moment, should we say. I was just like, well, I wonder what you meant by love is in the air. And you've got that song, love is in the air, do 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 do, love is in the air. So like, yeah, just yeah. Anyway, come on, Jacko, let's get through it. Let's get through it. Yes, 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 and sure, yes. See, look, and he will surely give them security in exchange after their fear. See how fear comes first, and then they feel the security. Praise be to Allah. Not associating aught with him. We can't be doing that, you know. Okay, respect for privacy. All you who believe, let those whom your right hands possess and those of you who have not attained to puberty ask permission of you 3 times before the morning prayer and when you put off your clothes for the heat of the noon and after the prayer of night. These are 3 times of privacy for you. Besides these, it is no sin for you nor for them. Some of you go round about waiting upon others. Thus does Allah make clear to you the messages, and Allah is knowing and wise. I don't know what this means. Rules relating to personal and family... I'm in the footnotes here. Rules relating to personal and family privacy are the utmost importance in the betterment of social relations, and their non-observance leads to all kinds of false reports. So it stops. It says, and which scandal-mongers are always ready to lay hold upon, thereby creating dissensions in society. You know, some people are just so nosy. Some people are just so, like, bored, yo. They just, like, build up a report. Like, have you not got a report to make for Allah and His Messenger? Have you not got better things to do? It's like the police. Sometimes I'm looking at the way they, like, just, like, bother the youth. And I'm like, have you not got something more important to do than hassle a bunch of youth? Like, you know what I mean? That's what this makes me think of, like. And obviously we're talking about, you know, back then, but it can be put into the modern context, you know. It can be put into straight down to the modern times, as we say. It just makes me think, like, some people are just so bored, man. Anyway. And when the children among you attain to puberty, let them seek permission as those before them sought permission. Thus does Allah make clear to you His messages, and Allah is knowing, wise. And as for women past childbearing, who hope not for marriage, it is no sin for them if they put off their clothes without displaying their adornment, and if they are modest, it is better for them. And Allah is hearing and knowing. There is no blame upon the blind man, nor any blame on the lame, nor blame on the sick, nor on yourselves, that you eat in your own houses, or your father's houses, or your or your mother's houses, or your brother's houses, or your sister's houses, or your paternal uncle's houses, or your paternal aunt's houses, or your maternal uncle's houses, or your maternal aunt's houses, or houses whereof you possess the keys, or your friends' houses. It is no sin in you that you eat together or separately. So when you're... That's interesting, that one. It is no sin on you that you eat together or separately. Yeah, we're gonna swiftly move past that, to be fair. So when you enter houses, greet your people with a salutation from Allah. Blessed and goodly, thus does Allah make clear to you. We're at the end of the chapter. I can see the end. Oh my God. Blessed and goodly, thus does Allah make clear to you the messages that you may understand. Matters of state to take precedence. Section 9. I should be saying, like, which section I'm on when I get to it. So just then, that was section 8. Okay, this is section 9. Matters of state to take precedence. Only those are believers who believe in Allah and His Messenger, and when they are with Him on a momentous And when they are with him on a momentous affair, they go not away until they have asked leave of him. Surely they who ask leave of thee are they who believe in Allah and his messenger. So when they ask leave of thee for some affair of theirs, give leave to whom thou wilt of them, and ask forgiveness for them from Allah. Surely Allah is forgiving and merciful. You know, that's really interesting. Because, like, if we're in the minister's presence, you know, we're in his presence for a very, very important reason. And we've got to understand that. Whatever the minister has even instructed to those who are around him, and you're of those who are around him, take those instructions really carefully and make that of a great importance to you. Because whether you know it or not, that is Allah speaking to you through his messenger. That is Allah speaking to, that's Allah giving you an instruction to follow up on and to carry out to the best of your ability. And so for that reason, look, only those are believers who believe in Allah and his messenger, and when they are with him on a moment, they go not away until they've asked leave of him. See, they will ask leave of him because really what they're doing there is they're acknowledging, do you have anything more on your heart from Allah to give to me as your servant? Because if not, may I take leave from you, beloved? See? So it's like you're not really just having the respect for the man himself, but you're having respect for the one, the man, the God whom he serves, and that is Master Fard Muhammad and the Honourable Elijah Muhammad, you know. So you never know, you know, and so, and not only that, praise be to Allah, this just came, is that you set an example for other people of how much reverence, how much respect is due to the minister or to the messenger. Because when people see you asking to take leave, you know, asking for that permission, people in that action there are seeing how much respect he is worthy of, how much he is worth our consideration on all levels, because he is in all areas of the word and can prove all things. So, okay. Make not the calling among you of the messenger as your calling one of another. Indeed, Allah knows those who steal away from among you, concealing themselves. So let those who go against his orders beware, lest the trial afflict them or there befall them a painful punishment. Now surely Allah's is whatever is in the heavens and the earth. He knows indeed your condition, and on the day when they are returned to him, he will inform them of what they did, and Allah is knower of all things. See, look, make not the calling among you of the messenger as your calling one of another. So in other words, the messenger is not like anybody among you. You see? He is due a different kind of respect. He is due a different kind of you should approach the messenger differently to how you should call. Make not the calling among you of the messenger as your calling one with another. You know, have you noticed, praises be to Allah, because I had a vision and of the Most Honourable Elijah Muhammad, and I kept calling him dear apostle, like like the Honourable Minister Louis Farrakhan addressed him. But the way that the minister spoke to anybody else, it was, okay, dear brother, well, and it was brother. And so it was kind of like, maybe that's a little bit of a sign, but it's really to be, it's you know what this is saying? Be humble with the messenger. Be humble. Be so humble, be so honoured. Be so taking care of your your mannerism. You know, show submission. Prove to be of those who submit by how you address him, because how he addresses you should also give you a sign to how humble we should be as we address him. You know, because he is full of grace. He is full of. I mean, God knows what it's like to be in the Honourable Minister Louis Farrakhan's presence. Like, I just think my heart would just be genuinely, like, I just think I'd cry my eyes out. God, I'm even like, I get emotional thinking about it, to be honest, beloved. My eyes well up because I owe him my life, you know. And to be before him, I don't know what I would do. I would feel like a bird that is like got its neck all the way down, but that's got its wings all the way up. So that, like, you know, like, just that action alone, like bowing. I don't think I could bow any more than I would. I think, you know, I understand why the minister. I understand why the minister is gonna be at Elijah's feet, you know. And, you know, I understand why that sister won Saviour's Day. I can't remember what her name was now. I can't remember what her name is now. No. She recalls, she did a song at that Saviour's Day, but she did a song for the minister, and she recounts of an experience, well, of something she did. She got at the feet of the minister and started worshipping at his feet, and the minister was saying, "No, get up, you know." And I remember that, and it's like, I understand what that sister was doing. I understand that. So that was the end of the light of that chapter. That was the light, guys. Oh, look at this. And guess what the next chapter is? See how things work out. The discrimination. It's chapter 25, Al-Furqan. Do you know what I mean? God's timing is impeccable. 77 verses. Al-Furqan. Farrakhan. He's blessed, you know. He is blessed. But I mean, we've done that, to be fair. We have done it in one of the episodes. I don't know which one it were, but it was one of the other ones. And maybe we could do a little bit of something else here now. What can we do? Should we do another song? No, we're not. We're not doing another song. We've been singing since the songs, if you can understand. Right, what should we do here? Oh God. The Farrakhan. That's what it's gonna be. I've got a note here that says the Farrakhan, so I'm doing that one. Because it just said that, obviously. Well, Al-Furqan. Just got the closest document that says Farrakhan on it, so Farrakhan post. He thought he was to perform with his violin when in fact God wanted him just to use his own heart as an instrument. Oh, in this hour the Bible is not up for interpretation because the interpreter is present. Farrakhan can spill the juice because he helped make the juice. Yeah, we're doing this one. I don't know what's going to be in this document, but I just feel like we should do this. But isn't that funny, like you think that Farrakhan, he thought he was to perform with his violin. That's what he thought was his his ultimate, like, destiny in a way, when in fact God just wanted him to use his own heart as an instrument. That's really powerful. Only God can make a man, you know. And he made a man with the minister. He really did, you know. Alright. There's a secret standoff between the United States government and the Nation of Islam under the leadership and guidance of the Honourable Minister Louis Farrakhan over the reality of the presence of Master Fard Muhammad physically and within what he was teaching the leader, the Honourable Elijah Muhammad. This secret standoff is Area 51. Okay. I mean, that's like obviously a relation to the wheels. Because listen, the government of the United States of America, they know that Elijah Muhammad is alive. I mean, maybe they don't actually, because it does say in the scripture that they'll say this is they who we thought they killed. So they think he's dead. They think he's not even alive. So, but in terms of Master Fard Muhammad, I can assure he gives them the creeps, because it's obviously, as we discussed last episode, it says that he disappeared. See? So they're like, where did he go? You know, see, here's something about the devil, right? Or really Satan. Satan likes to keep have a view of his enemy, of his doom. See? Satan likes to have a good picture of the Nation of Islam, and he has to send spies in and agents and people who are going to make mischief, because he has to keep a tab. That's it. He has to keep a tab on the Nation of Islam, because he needs to then keep in mind how close he is to his doom, because however close they are from getting up, see, is how close he is to his doom. So the secret standoff, you see how it's a secret standoff? It's not even an open standoff. It's like chess on all different types of levels. We've got the best pieces though still on the board. See, they got rid of Malcolm X. They thought they were getting rid of a. They thought they were getting rid of a king. They thought they were getting rid of a knight, of a bishop. Nah, that was just a pawn. That was one of Allah's pawns. That. Do you see that in a way? So the secret standoff is like, you know, we're gonna make these files about the wheels classified, so that when you're making them, you know, plain, when the nation are making them open, you know, the people will think, but, you know, imagine when they release the files. What do you mean when they release the files? We're releasing the files. We're telling you what's the truth is about the files of the UFOs. What are you waiting for your enemy to release the files for? See how the enemy works? It makes them like obscure, or makes them classified. And because he's such a rotten, wicked, damnable, really force in the world, always concealing, you know, the truth. And because we're so dumb, blind and deaf to the messenger, and because we're still so hip to the slave master, you know, or our ex-slave master, who really is still a slave master, just in a different form. Modern day slaves are in debt, not chains. Then we still lean on the enemy to reveal the truth that the man of God is speaking for nothing, for free, without no price, without no hassle, without no qualms, with no problem. But we think that the truth's got to come with, you know, you must sign this, and we must regulate and authorize this document. And this. Just tell the truth. How about that? Just tell the truth. And make it out as though you gotta put this legislation in, and, well, we can't talk about this because by protocol and our policies say, and this law enforcement says, and shut up. Just tell the truth. Grab a page out of the messenger's book, and the minister's book, and the soldier's book, Final Call, and just tell the truth. but they can't tell the truth because the truth is not in them. So that'll be all on that. So, and then I've put here, speak about how the government likes to produce a double-edged sword environment using a double-edged sword tactic. See that? Oh, to preach. So the picture of Rihanna and ASAP was a double-edged sword. It looks and is absolutely in one way successive and a successful thing to look at. But because there's a snake in control, you can see where he's made mischief. I wonder what I'm talking about there. Because I think to be honest, what I'm talking about there is there was a picture that came out of ASAP Rocky and Rihanna. And it was Rihanna at the forefront of the photo, pulling ASAP along by the hand. She was taking the masculine dominant role, and he was with he had the children in his hands, in his other arm, and obviously with his other hand he had Rihanna's hand, and he was trailing behind in a way. And it was like how they've, it may look, oh my God, sister preach, or like, you know, but really to the awake mind, to the one who's wide awake, you know, they can see that that is just another trick to get women to feel this kind of way about men, and to get men feeling some type of way about a woman, because they need to swap roles in the image of that photo. If you've seen it, you've seen it, but if you've not, you've not. But hopefully I've painted the picture well enough to show you what I'm saying here. So you may think, the enemy's put me on the front cover, oh my God, and it's me and my husband, oh my God. But how has he put you on the cover of Vogue? How has he put you on the cover of Times magazine? He's put you in the opposite roles, meaning it can have a reverse effect to what you may like to have had. What you intended is not what came about, really, is it? You just wanted to get hubby on the, you know, you and hubby on the, you know, to prove you're a power couple. I get it. But you let your enemy do that. This is what I don't understand, me. Like, and you know, the grip of Satan and Hollywood on these actors and musicians is so terrible that, you know, it gets, if only they knew their power. Do you see what I mean? It makes me mad, you know. Because you're leaving it all up to one man. Like, what is so terrifying about, like, using your influence, even just simply free Palestine, even just simply coming together, and look, are you ready for this? It's all that legislation BS. It's all of that crap, all that, you know, they've got the wrong type of documentation. True documentation should be coming from spirit, should be coming from how we discern spirit in other people. I ain't signing that, because you're asking me to sign it, and you look like a, you sound like a, you look like you want to, you look, you're a bit too happy to see me sign something like that. Thank you very much. So I don't think I'm gonna sign it just because spirit told me, just because my discernment tells me that you're rotten, and you want me to sign that in my blood, not the ink. See, Rihanna probably can't work with, you know how many things Rihanna's probably got to sign just to work with her brother Kendrick. You know how many things Kendrick has to just sign just to work with his. I mean, Kendrick might be a little different, because Kendrick was like pulled back from the system a little bit, and he's probably on his own steam in a way. But even then, it's like they've got to have a bit of mainstream in there, bit of Satan in there, bit of Hollywood in there. Why don't you just come together, unite, and just produce royalty, and don't apologize to nobody for doing it as well? Do you know what I mean? It makes me think, man. I tell you, it makes me mad, actually. Because I'm like, if only you knew how powerful your unity really was and is, you wouldn't ask for your. You would, you know, and because they were in want so much, yeah, and not understanding the needs and what must be done. They control us by our wants and make us neglect what we need. You know, if only we were in the minister's space of mind and spirit. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. I don't want your record label. I don't want your deal. I don't want to dance with the devil. I don't want to deal with the devil. You know, Donald Trump, he always says, oh, make a deal. Make a deal. Make a deal. No, I'm not saying that. My backside. You know, making no deal with you. Trump. All these mini Trumps. All these mini... What do you call it? What do they call that? What do they call them? Just selling out. Like sellouts. Sell out people, trying to get other people to sell out. I mean, can you imagine a more wretched place to be? To be a hunter. It's like a hunter. Do you know what I mean? Hunting down talented people, and making them give in, for the sake of $1. It's like it makes God mad. It makes God mad. It does make God mad. Sometimes a double-edged sword and the use of drugs and money to create an environment where the mindset of hoarding and the result of a consumption of drugs is connected to the mischief. The use of drugs and money, see? They use drugs, they use money, they use your little desires, they use your weakness to make them strong. It makes God mad. I'll just be real. It makes God mad. They don't... Because God is a jealous God. You know that. God is a jealous God, you know. God is like, oh, you've got my people, like, oh. God, like, he was enraged when he spoke to Moses. Moses had to bounce, bro. Moses didn't return. I'm pretty sure it's in that chapter, isn't it? Was it at the beginning of that chapter? It says when Moses, where is it now? Oh, I can't remember where it is now. But yeah, Moses, when he, it says, I've perceived the light that I may go to it. I'll check it out, basically. He's like, I'll scope it out. You know, the meaning of it is that the bush burning in it was God. It was God's rage. God was furious. God was angry. You know. And I think it was when he threw down. He said, "Throw down your staff, O Moses," and it became a serpent. And and Moses, he bounced. I mean, can you imagine seeing the Lord of creation, the Lord of the heavens and the earth, the supreme being, in a state of anger? That was probably it's probably the most frightening set of eyes to ever look in. And it's partially, I think, why he was, you know, no one has ever seen his eyes. Although, well, I've seen his eyes in a vision. And I've heard his voice as well. And it sounds like music. It's the best way I can explain it. When he was speaking, it was like music was playing. And then he lifted up his hand and shot a bolt of lightning from his hand into the sky. And we were already really high in the sky, or wherever we were. It was just very high up. But he shot like a bolt of lightning into the sky from his hand, Master Fard Muhammad. But can't say I've got a picture of his eyes now, but I remember in that vision I was able to look him in the eyes. I was actually lining up to go on a ride. It felt like, but I don't know. Things are really interesting. It was Master Fard Muhammad anyway. So anyway, I would like to speak on how, as babies in our mother's wombs, we were conquering ourselves even then as well as now. For instance, if you're in a confined space and it allowed next to no movement, you would eventually begin to panic in the end because you need to be free, you need to go free. So you see how the baby's kicking? Praise be to Allah. You see how the baby's kicking? And like, he's probably like, get me out of here. I'm ready to come out now. You know, but God knows best. God is the best knower. But it goes to, on a spiritual level, you know, we get here, but then it's like you've not got it made just because you got it. You get there when you'll never get there on the spiritual level. Like in terms of, I mean, inshallah, it's up for grabs in a way, if you can understand that, beloved. But like, the spiritual growth is really infinite. There's so many spiritual lessons you can like fashion. There's so many spiritual lessons you can find. There's so much knowledge to go and seek after, to search for, to uncover, to realize, to engage with. So, you know, when you get here from the womb, there's another growth that you must take on. As we spoke about in another episode, the episode with Mustafa, Supreme Captain Mustafa Farrakhan, and he was mentioning obviously the types of the growth that we go through, the stages of development, you know. And there was a verse that said, from dust. Well, we went over it. We went through it. But there's different stages to our growth. And our spiritual development is probably the most important, because I believe it's the most comforting out of all the growths that we can take on, because for the most part we're not in control of anything but ourselves, really, in this world. You know. What did the minister say then? Man can't something what he can't control. Something like that. You know, the minister was never trying to control the nation, you know. What is that, Allah? Man can't guide what he can't control. Something about that. Because the minister was never trying to control the nation, but the minister had something that the nation needed, and so he was not really familiar with how to be in a particular position, but he knew how to be a servant. He knew what was needed, because he was full of what was needed. Al-Furqan. He was the essence of what was needed. He was the substance. He was the example of what was needed. He was the man that was needed. He was the man that God was looking for. That God had made. God already knew what he made. It was the man that Elijah was looking for. He was looking for somebody. He knew somebody was to come, because he prayed for a helper. Praises be to Allah. Praises be to Allah. Okay, you don't know how focused you have to be to inspire someone spiritually because of how many blockades there are energetically in our being. I was talking about that yesterday, the barricades. There's so many barricades in our being that we've put up, or that are just there just because, raised in sin and shaped in iniquity. So, the minister says that we have to be skillful. We have to be very skillful in the way that we help the people today. We can't be robots, we have to be spirits. See? We can't be robotic. We have to be spiritual. We have to flow like water. Because in our roboticness, we will just come as a roaring fire, really, to our people. Like, we need to be a bit loose, in a way. Not loose as in that sense. It's like dancing. You ever seen, like, dancing? People that, like, Strictly Come Dancing, for instance. Sometimes I look at some of the slow movements that they make and I'm like, yo, you're in the flow, you look like water. But can you imagine if, like, it's like they have to learn how to dance because they're still very stiff. See, we don't want that stiffness. We don't want to be stiff-necked, hard-hearted. We don't need that. We've had enough of that. The youth have especially had enough of that. They ain't going for that, but they also ain't going for. They also ain't going for the right stuff either at first. So even in your loosey-goosiness, should we say, even in your be water, my friend, they're still gonna poke the bear. If you look at it like this, they're gonna slap the water, and yeah, it might cause the water to come and lose its form for a moment, but keep you cool, and the water will just fall back into the ocean, and will be just as a big, giant ocean again. So we have to stay focused. So saying you don't know how focused you have to be to inspire somebody spiritually. To get to a place, so you can have something spiritual to say, but to inspire somebody spiritually, that's to be beyond saying a point or making a point. That's being. We're talking about being there. We're in a state of being. See? Okay. What's the difference between dwelling on the past and learning from the past, or rather using the past as an example for a current problem? I'd like to add that in scripture it says, do not dwell on the past in Isaiah 43:18. Further on in this part of the text, it does also say, review the past for me. Let us argue the matter together. So this could be linked to an answer to my question. But you can expand on this, dear brother. See, I'm asking a question. I'm asking God a question. Because, what's the difference between dwelling on the past and learning from the past? See? Dwelling on the past incites that we're moping over the past. Oh, well, this happened to me, and But when we're learning from the past, we are what's known as, like, blowing off the dust from the past, if that makes sense. It's like the past. There's like gold in the past, and we have to blow off all the dust that's over it to get the lesson in the present for the current problem, to deal with the current problem. So in scripture it says, don't dwell on the past. But it does also say review. See, review the past for me. So to review the past for me, let us argue the matter together. See, and that's even an incitation that there perhaps there will be something that we might have to wrangle over. That might be to argue. Oh, I've done a writing somewhere about that. Oh, I can't wait to get to that. Praise be to Allah. I just got a little bit excited about something that's coming, inshallah. It's like arguing the best manner. Arguing the matter together, see? When you argue the matter as separate people with separate aims and goals, and separate ideas for a current problem, you know, you're not going to really find unity at the end of that, really. It's just because if you argue the matter together, it's like you're both looking at the page together rather than you've got your book, I've got mine, and we're just arguing. You know, I was telling a brother at the church just Sunday gone. I spoke to him for like a good hour. His children actually ended up like running up to him and pulling his arm and saying, like, "Daddy, can we go?" Because I was talking with him, and it was like I was trying to make the point that, beloved, you may be free from slavery, as in like you as a person may be free from that pain, but I was saying to him, just because you're free, it doesn't mean that your people are free. And it like, each one to each one. I was trying to get. He was basically trying to tell me that, well, slavery doesn't hurt me anymore. It doesn't bother me. Like, slavery was. He was basically saying slavery was slavery, and I'm like, in my mind, I'm thinking slavery was slavery. Do you not think how God thought about that? Like, because I mentioned in that little sermon, I mentioned the 400 years that God said to Abraham, you know, there'll be strangers, you know, your people, your seed, will be strangers in a land that is not their own, and they'll be afflicted in that land for 400 years. I was saying, well, that's a prophecy about you, beloved, your people. And he was basically doing that, well, it weren't me. And I was saying, but brother, you're on the back end of that. You're coming out, you're, and it's not even 400 years, it's like 400, it's nearly 500 years now. Because we're still in a state of that slavery in some areas of the world still. In a particular way, in some sense, and in others, all the sense of the meaning of what it were. You know, apartheid only ended what in. Let's research that. I mean, no, it didn't end. That's the point. It didn't end really. It just got a new name. It just got a new. Apartheid ended. 1994. Is that right? Apartheid in South Africa officially ended in 1994. Like, oh, no way. No way. Nelson Mandela was inaugurated as the first black president on May 10th. That's the day before the minister's birthday. That's that number 10 again. God loves a 10. It's 10 out of 10. But look at that, like, look how many years. 1994. I mean, I was born 5, 6, 3 years later. I'm 1997, me. So I was born 3 years after the apartheid was up. So you're telling me, what if the actual law itself or the practice of apartheid and stuff was just gotten rid of? You think the condition of the people that have not just come out of apartheid, but have come out of prior a 400 and God knows how much, 450 plus year chattel slavery, and you're telling me that you're all good? You don't have anything to do, or you don't need anything to do with that? Something's wrong. There's something wrong even in that. You know, to even see that and see that we've got no obligation towards that. There is something wrong with that picture. Do you see? There is. It's like me. It's like, brother, I'm in prison with 500 other inmates who are innocent, and I get out and I forget about the 499 innocent people who are going to spend life in there just because I've gained my freedom. And in all truth, my freedom ain't worth a damn if I don't think about the 499. See? Praise be to Allah. I was just thinking of the 99 and the 1. Maybe what made the 1 so important to God is that the 1 had a connection to the 99. Or to those, like, God likes the 1 that thinks for the whole and puts others first. Like Muhammad, peace be upon him, when he said, you know, Bilal will be going ahead of me into paradise. That was a sign of what he would be willing to work to do. So, like, you know, it's a very, very, life is not a selfish thing. It's such a blessing having life. the minister has given his life in service of those who have gained life, because he gave life, his life. So the minister knows something, Muhammad knows something about his mortality and how that can have an effect. And he kept saying this pastor, he was saying, but I want to get to heaven, I want to get to heaven. I was thinking in my mind, I was like, you ain't going to get to heaven if you don't think about the whole. If you're just thinking about yourself. No way. No way. I'm thinking, you just thinking about you and how you can get your ass saved. Your ass is in trouble. I didn't say that, beloved. But like, you know. It's like loads of people at the bottom of the hill who are in chains that are thirsty, you know, and you just so happen to escape your chains, and there happens to be a bowl of water up the hill, and you get up the hill and you just sit there on your own and drink the water all to yourself. You know, the right kind of man would, not only before he goes up that water, he goes up that mountain, that hill, to get that water, he's going to first tell all the slaves, tell all those who are in chains, who are thirsty, yeah, this is how I've just got out of these chains. Whilst you figure that out between you, I'm going to go up this mountain, go and get that bucket of water, and come back down. It's making me think of Jack and, what's that famous song? Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down, broke his crown, and Jill came tumbling after. Oh God. I hope that's not a parable of me. But that's the point, is like, we've got to want for others what we have for ourselves. So if I've got out of them chains, I'm telling brothers, listen, I've just got out of these chains. Look at this, look at me. I can wave at you. Now, you go get yourself out of these chains. However I've managed to do it, yeah, I'm going to tell you how I've done it. And then I'm going to go and get that bucket of water. I'm going to get all that water, bring it down to us lot. Don't worry about it. You just wait here. And you might have, and see, look, from your example, you might have a brother that says, yeah, I've got out my chains. I've learnt how quick. I'll come with you. And you'll find before you know it, brother, sister, all them brothers will be walking after you up that hill, thinking he's just got us free. We've got to help him with his water. Praises be to Allah. So, just make sure that when you get your rewards or you recognize your gift, that you go right back to the temple and put it in the hands of the teacher, or you put it to some good use in a way that it may help the one who helped you find yourself. Know yourself and know the time and what must be done. Praises be to Allah. Praises be to Allah. I think we're gonna give it an end to this now, because the next paragraph is a big paragraph, beloved. And yes, we're not gonna go through that today. We can start on that tomorrow if you want, inshallah. I wonder what it's about. W.D Fard Muhammad, I believe, is reported to have a specific set of missions or assignments. One of them is the mission to break the cross. Not going to expand on that too much, but Constantine's cross and the masquerading wickedness in Jesus' name and the corrupting the word of God, it's time to represent or be a symbol of good fruitful teaching. It is running out. Think with me, because UFOs are turning up left, right and centre, and without Elijah Muhammad there's very little information as opposed to what there is to learn of the reality of these metallic objects. See? Really, without the Nation of Islam, you're going to be looking up at those wheels and you're going to be frightened, beloved. Or you're going to be at least wondering what in the heavens is going on. Especially if one comes up close. You're going to think, you may not think you're afraid of that, beloved. You may think, I can take seeing a wheel. But beloved, they are, it says the Master Fard Muhammad pointed out to the most Honourable Elijah Muhammad a dreadful looking plane. He says a dreadful looking plane for a reason. And what does it mean to dread something? It's to deeply fear it. So you may handle an aeroplane in the air in the daytime and even in the nighttime, but you ain't ready to see a wheel. A dreadful circular wheel in the air floating above your head, making a sound that's like a trumpet that can break buildings and cause buildings to crumble. That would be a dreadful, dreadful moment, beloved. See? So we have to really understand what we are listening to. We have to really understand whom we are listening to in the Honourable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam. We don't represent no spook God. We don't represent a God that doesn't have power to crush the wicked. We do represent a living God. I think one of his name is Al-Hayya. That just came to me. Hayya. Is Hayya? What? Al-Hayya. Hayya. Praise be to Allah. It's going to be something. Pretty sure it's the living. Praise be to Allah. Al-Hayya. Islam. Wait, let me put a name of Allah. Is it? The ever living? Oh, Al-Hayy. Ah. Al-Hayy. Hi. Hi. Al-Hayy. Al-Hayy. The ever living, or the eternally living one. It signifies that Allah is self-subsisting, possesses perfect, continuous life without beginning or end, and is the source of all life, free from death, sickness or need for sustenance. Allah is here. Allah is present, beloved. Allah is amidst the people. He's unseen, beloved. And the government know it. Don't forget that. The government know it. You know? What do you see Trump doing? Oh, I'm gonna make these UFO files public. I bet you they don't mention the Nation of Islam. In fact, to my knowledge, I don't think he's even made them public. Because I mean, imagine what that would do. Imagine what credibility that would give us. They don't want to give us that credit. They don't even want to slightly see. Told you it's a war. What did we say then? Oh, pardon me. Get that back on there. What did we say before? There's a secret standoff. Secret standoff between the United States government and the Nation of Islam under the leadership and guidance of the Honourable Elijah Muhammad through the Honourable Minister Louis Farrakhan, his representative, over the reality of the presence of Master Fard Muhammad physically with what he was teaching to Elijah Muhammad. The secret standoff is between... See, the secret standoff is between Area 51. And look, 5 plus 1 is 6. So, beloved, we have to realise we're dealing with a really, wicked force in the world. The government know. They know. They know. But they dread it. They don't want it to be true. But it is. Yeah. Look. 51. Chapter 51. The Scatterers. Like Area 51. Chapter 51. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, by those scattering broadcast, and those bearing the load, and those running easily, and those distributing the affair, what you are promised is surely true, and the judgment will come to pass. And by the way, this section is called Falsehood is Doomed. By the heavens full of paths, surely you are of varying opinion. He is turned away from it who would be turned away. Cursed be the liars, who are in an abyss, neglectful. They ask, when is the day of judgment? It is the day when they are tried at the fire. Taste your persecution, this is what you would hasten on. Surely the dutiful are amidst gardens and fountains, taking that which their Lord gives them. Surely they were before that doers of good. They used to sleep but little at night, and in the morning they asked divine protection, and in their wealth there was due share for the beggar, and for one who is denied good. And in the earth are signs for those who are sure, and in yourselves. Do you not see? And in the heavens is your sustenance, and that which you are promised. So by the Lord of the heavens and the earth, it is surely the truth, just as you speak. Praises be to Allah. So that's interesting. See how we have to be careful, beloved. I'm going to return to a lot of my works now, like in new episodes, like in the next couple episodes. So we'll be on episode 29 tomorrow, and in fact 28. What was 28? 28. I usually do a little bit of like what. So chapter 28 is the I'm not looking. It is the narrative. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. This chapter is known as the narrative, is devoted chiefly to Moses' story and draws attention pointedly to Moses' prophecy regarding the prophet's advent. It is said by some to have been revealed to the Holy Prophet when fleeing from Mecca on his way to Medina, at a place known as Jaffa. According to others, however, only verse 85, which predicted a triumphal return of the Holy Prophet to Mecca, was revealed there. The latter seems to be the correct view. The Prophet's likeness to Moses in this is the chief theme of this chapter, and the revelation of Moses is here spoken as clear evidence of the truth of the revelation of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. The first 4 sections of the chapter are taken up with the recital of the chief incidents of the life of Moses. It's just like a mirror image of Moses and Muhammad. Okay, in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, benignant, hearing, knowing God. These are the verses of the book that makes manifest. We recite to thee the story of Moses and Pharaoh, with truth for a people who believe. Surely Pharaoh exalted himself in the land and made its people into parties, weakening one party from among them. He slaughtered their sons and let their women live. Surely he was one of the mischief makers, and we desired to bestow a favour upon those who were deemed weak in the land, and to make them the leaders, and to make them the heirs, and to grant them power in the land. and to make Pharaoh and Haman and their hosts see from them what they feared. And we revealed to Moses' mother, saying, Give him suck. Then when thou fearest for him, cast him into the river, and fear not, nor grieve. Surely we shall bring him back to thee, and make him one of the messengers. So Pharaoh's people took him up, and that he might be an enemy and a grief for them. Surely Pharaoh and Haman and their hosts were wrongdoers. And Pharaoh's wife said, A refreshment of the eye to me and to thee. Slay him not. Maybe he will be useful to us, or may take him for a son, or we may take him for a son. And they perceived not. And the heart of Moses' mother was free from anxiety. She would almost have disclosed it had we not strengthened her heart, so that she might be of the believers. And she said to his sister, Follow him up. So she watched him from a distance, while they perceived not. And we did not allow him to suck before. So she said, Shall I appoint out to you the people of a house who will bring him up for you? And they wish him well. So we gave him back to his mother, that her eye might be refreshed, and that she might not grieve, and that she might know that the promise of Allah is true, but most of them know not. You know, I said I was going to read this, and I did, but I don't think I got to the end of it. Prophet like Moses. And certainly we gave Moses the book after we had destroyed the former generations. Clear arguments for men, and a guidance and a mercy, that they may be mindful. And thou wast not in the western side when we revealed to Moses the commandment, nor wast thou among those present. But we raised up generations, then life became prolonged to them, and thou wast not dwelling among the people of Midian, reciting to them our messages. But we are sender of messengers. We are the sender of messengers. And thou wast not at the side of the mountain when we called, but a mercy from thy Lord, that thou mayest warn a people to whom no warner came before thee, that they may be mindful, and lest if a disaster should befall them for what their hands have sent before, they should say, Our Lord, why didst thou not send to us a messenger, so that we might have followed thy messengers and been of the believers? But now when the truth has come to them from us, they say, Why is he not given the like of what was given to Moses? They say, Why is he not given the like of what was given to Moses? Did they not disbelieve in that which was given to Moses before? They say, two enchantments backing up each other. And they say, Surely we are disbelievers in both. Say, then bring some other book from Allah which is a better guide than these two. I will follow it, if you are truthful. But if they answer thee not, know that they only follow their low desires. And who is more erring than he who follows his low desires without any guidance from Allah? Surely Allah guides not the iniquitous people. And certainly we have made the words have many connections for their sake, so that they may be mindful. Those to whom we've done this before. Those to whom we gave the book before it, they are believers in it. And when it is recited to them, they say, We believe in it. Surely it is the truth from our Lord. We were indeed before this submitting ones. Praises be to Allah. Alright, well, this has been a good episode, guys. I hope you've all enjoyed yourselves. I've enjoyed myself a little bit. a little bit too much. It's sometimes I can get really tired. I can feel a bit overwhelmed sometimes. Ain't gonna lie. You know. I'm so happy that our brother Michael B. Jordan won the Oscar as well. Not that the Oscars matter, but what that does for the people of God is always very, influential. And I just love it when I see people's dreams coming true. I really do. Like, oh, that's another thing, beloved. Praise be to Allah. He guided me to say this because I'm going to say this now. He said something powerful, Michael B. Jordan. Really powerful, actually. Where is it? He said, if there's a book you really want to read and it hasn't been written yet, then you must write it. Slow motion on that one. And I was like, yo. I was like, okay then. I was like, thank you for that reminder, brother. Because I'm on it. I'm already on it. Praise be to Allah. So this has been The Universal, episode 28. We've been going through it, through the motions. Next episode will be 29. 29 is the spider. Because I'm getting good at remembering. So we'll get that open for tomorrow. I think I've left my other Quran at my mother's. So I need to go grab that. Section 1 is Trials Purify. You didn't do nothing wrong, beloved. You were just being purified. That's all. No point kicking the curb and saying, why me? Because God had Jesus to give his life. He had Muhammad to suffer. And, he had, he permitted that Muhammad to be even poisoned. He had, Job to, lose everything. He had Jonah to be swallowed by a whale. He had Noah to build an ark. Poor Noah. Poor Noah. He had Solomon to have everything, but then lose it on the sake of, I think it was, like, what did Solomon? I think he fell because of a woman or something. Or maybe that was David. I think it was David that like, anyway. Yeah, something to do with a woman. But yeah, so that's been our episode today. And I'm glad that I was able to get through it today. Praise be to Allah. I'm just going to show up no matter what the circumstances are. I'm going to show up. I'm just going to show up. That's it. God loves a trier. And he's the best knower. I can say that I'm of myself nothing. And I can do of myself nothing. Only He it is, Allah, that can guide one's heart, one's mind, one's soul, one's essence to become an instrument of His understanding and to be a reminder of His love, light and presence and a reflection of His will, inshallah. Well, I will see you tomorrow if it be Allah's will. And we come to you, and we have been to you a brother. We come to you in the greeting words of peace, of Assalamu alaikum, and we take leave of you in the words of peace, Assalamu alaikum, which means peace be upon you. And I hope this has helped in any kind of way. And enjoy breaking your fast if you are partaking in Ramadan. And if you've not, you could fast for the next 3 days, because Eid is a beautiful time. And may you all have a blessed evening. And peace out. Assalamu alaikum.